Hey, I'm super excited about this new feature in Photoshop. It's called Rotate Object. It's kind of like Turntable from Illustrator, but it's in Photoshop. What it enables you to do is take a photo of something, turn it into a 3D model, pose it, whatever, and then turn it back into a photograph. I'm going to show you two parts. The first part, I'm going to show you exactly how it works on a simple example, and then we're going to use it in a composite. Can you tell I'm excited? Yeah, let's get going. One of the things I love is 3D in Photoshop, and it was gone. It's sort of back, but it's a little bit different. So just to let you know, as of this moment, it just dropped today in Photoshop Beta, which means it's not in the regular Photoshop, but you can run both at the same time. I'm going to make this barrel 3D. Check this out. So I'm going to duplicate the background, Control J, Command J. Now it could be an object. You know, like if you cut something out, you can do it, or we can also do it for mask. So I'm going to take this one barrel, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the amazing object selection tool, make a drag around it, boom, selected it. Now what we're going to do is put this on a layer mask. So go down, click on mask. So if we hide this, we can see, yep, we've got a barrel. One of my favorite tools, Control T or Command T for free transform. Notice it's showing the whole thing, but don't worry about that. Right click, and we're going to go down to Rotate Object. Now you could do it under the Edit menu as well if you wanted, but this is just as quick. And right now it's going to prepare a rotatable object. So it's looking for this barrel. Watch what happens in the Layers panel. Boom. So we got this little 3D icon now. And here we are. Now it converts it to low resolution while we're working on it. But then when we finish, it's going to rasterize it into a high-ish resolution, let's say. Okay, so we got the option, we can rotate or tilt up here, or we can return it to its original position. Now we can reposition it. Let me just put it beside the second barrel just for fun. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus what's on screen. So if we want to rotate this barrel around, go to the bottom, click, and now drag. Watch this. Look at that. We can rotate this in 360 degree space. Isn't that cool? Oh, it gets better. If we go here, you guessed it. Yes, we can see the top of the barrel. We can go the other way. We can see the bottom of the barrel. Now, if you've got another object and you're trying to make it fit the perspective of a particular, background that you want to put it in, we can drag the perspective and watch this. So this is essentially changing the lens we're using, the perspective. Now, if we want to reset it, we can just click reset up here and it'll pop it back to where it started. Now let's drag it over here once again. Here's another thing you can do. If you can right click, and now you can drag, you can move this around completely, just freeform. So let's apply this and see what happens. So to apply it, just hit the Enter key. And look at that, boom. Up-reses this really, really nicely. Okay, so here's the other thing that's interesting. I can duplicate this layer, so I'm just going to do that. Command J or Control J on the Mac would do that as well. And I'm just grab the Move tool, and I can drag a copy of it. So now we've got a copy. But here's the interesting thing. If I just double click on here, it brings me back into this 3D space. And now I can, drag this around. All right, let's put this to a practical use. Let's take this picture that I recently shot in Washington State. And then I'm going to take this other picture I took of this car. Some of you might recognize it. A few years ago I took this. Let's just drag this in. And then I'm going to release. And now, to make this match the perspective and the angle would be quite tricky, because if you look at this road, it's shot from a lower angle and everything like that. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to cut out the car. So we're just going to grab the object selection tool. Just going to drag around it, and that's quickly going to make a selection. And then I'm going to put it on a mask. So let's just create a layer mask. Perfect. Now we want to position it. So if we put it right there, clearly that's not going to work. So we're going to hit Control T or Command T, and let's just kind of resize it a little bit. And, maybe the size is a little bit better now, but the problem is the angle and everything is not matching. So what we're going to do is we're going to go under Edit, and we're going to choose Rotate Object. Notice this time I just did it from the edit menu instead of Control T, right clicking like I did in the previous example. All right, great. Don't worry about the low resolution, it'll fix that later. First thing we need to do is we need to rotate it, get it at the right angle. So if we rotate that, it's sort of facing the right angle now, but notice that the front is literally doing a wheel stand. So we need to lower it down. And why don't we just drag it down a little bit? And look at this. This is the power of this tool. We're able to position this exactly as we want. But the other thing, because I was shooting at a different focal length on the car and the background, the perspective is different. Shot wide for the background, I shot long for the car. So if we click here, this is where this perspective can come in handy to get a more realistic result. All right, at this point, why don't I apply this and see what we've got? And look at that, even remembered what type of car it is and everything like that. The angle and everything matches a lot better right now. It's not really blending in very well. So why don't we go up and we're going to use Harmonize, which will be available here. I've done another tutorial on it. I'll link to it if you like. And Harmonize will match the lighting, it'll match the color, and generate reflections and shadows if necessary. All right, so that's looking really cool. But I feel like I need a little bit more of the original color. It's gone a little monotone for me. Let me show you a little trick. I'm going to take this layer. I'm just going to Control J. I'm going to copy it and hide the top layer. So what I'm going to do with this layer is I just want to take the lighting and not the color. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to change this to luminosity mode. And notice this preserves the shadows and highlights, but pretty much keeps the original color. All right, so that's looking better. And this is also helping us with the reflections and different things like that. Now, the reason I duplicated it again is because I feel like I want just a little bit more of this effect. So I'm going to take the opacity all the way down. So if we look at here, we have the original layer. Then we have the harmonized layer, but put into luminosity mode. And now I'm going to take the harmonized one and just kind of bring it back a little bit. So this way we can just kind of blend it and kind of get a nice mix between the two. And I think if we look at that, it's definitely looking a lot more realistic. And of course the wheel is turning a little bit, but the car is stopped. So, you might be posing it with the wheel turned. You might be about to do a U-turn. Of course, you could use AI just to straighten out those wheels very easily too if you wanted. Nano Banana would do that. So it seems to do really well with hard surface objects. The question you may be asking is, how well does this work with organic objects? Let's have a look. I'm just going to go here and I'm going to add a free Adobe stock image. Let's grab this guy here in the suit. All right, what we want to do is quickly cut him out. Let's just do select subject. Great. We're going to put a mask. And why don't we have him standing here? Now let's do it the other way. Control T, right click, and we're going to choose rotate object. All right. And as you see, we can turn him all the way around. Why don't we have him facing the car a little bit? And let's mess around with the perspective. See if we can get that a little bit closer to what we've got on the car there. And then we're just going to hit enter to apply. All right, that new angle looks good, but I think he's a bit small. Let's make him a little taller, a little larger, and harmonize him. Let's make him a little brighter. Okay, so I didn't necessarily do a great job of scaling him in proportion to the car, but as you can see, we were able to reposition that person and it worked really well. All right, so I am curious what you think about it. Let me know in the comments underneath. Oh, by the way, if you want a whole bunch of free Photoshop goodies, head over to photoshopcafe.com/vault, and then you can download, it's like $200 or $300 worth of stuff for free. And if you're new, welcome to the cafe. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. You won't miss any of my tutorials. And until next time, I'll see you at the cafe.